Come on. Do I sound like I'm joking? Do I sound like I'm playing? When you look into my eyes, you understand what I'm saying? Let me say it to you slowly, and it may sound scandalous. I don't think that you can handle this.
Let's head back to the States. Sunday Night Football. The Dallas Cowboys are heading to Pittsburgh to face the Steelers. The Cowboys are 2-2. The Steelers are 3-1, and they are 2.5-point favorites. The projected total is 42.5 points. That means Vegas is telling us Dallas will score 20, Pittsburgh will score 22.5. As far as injuries, Pittsburgh is looking pretty healthy, but Dallas has a couple issues. Both of their defensive ends are injured. DeMarcus Lawrence is going on the injury reserve, won't need surgery, but he's going to be out for at least 4 weeks. Meanwhile, Micah Parsons left on a boot last week. He's doubtful for this upcoming Sunday night game. Mike, Steph, what do you think about this game? Who you got?
Well, the Cowboys, I'll start with. They eked out a victory this past Thursday night against the New York Football Giants by the score of 20-15 in a game that was actually closer than that score actually indicated. Cowboys, to me, have problems. They have one weapon, CeeDee Lamb. You know, like the lack of playmakers on the defense. I mean, on the offense is glaring. They have the tight end Ferguson. They have a shell of a receiver in Brandon Cooks, because 32, I think he's cooked, pardon the pun. And they have the ghost of Ezekiel Elliott, you know, because, listen, number 15 is nowhere near what number 21 used to be. Now, the defense, to me, has been a sieve under Mike Zimmer. They haven't been able to stop the run. The only reason they was able to stop the run last week is because the Giants just don't have a running game. You know, I mean, I'm sorry. Do you think they really were scared for Devin Singletary? Please. Now, unfortunately, the last part of this equation is Dakota Prescott got his bag, but will he ever get his ring? Because right now, year after year after year, a lot of responsibility is being heaped on his shoulders, and everything around them is disintegrating. Now, when it comes to the Steelers suffered their first loss of the season against the Indianapolis Colts. After falling behind 17-zip, they had a furious comeback that fell just short. Justin Fields passed for 312 yards, despite being sacked 4 times. George Pickens had a breakout game with 113 yards receiving. And the defense did have a hiccup this past week. But even with that, do you know they're only giving up 13.3 points per game? That's absolutely dominant. So, to me, this is a no-brainer. Dallas they got peasants on offense, and Pittsburgh is dominant on defense. So, I will go with the under. So, that 42.5, I'm going under. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're going to bounce back at home on Sunday night, -2.5.
It may be indeed that I have no brain, but this one's a tough one for me. The reason it's tough for me is pretty simple. I think the Cowboys don't beat good teams. Is Pittsburgh good? Pittsburgh is well coached, but are they good? I don't know, which makes me very undecided in this game. I will not be betting this game. I said that last week, and I'm glad I didn't bet that game because my picks were horrendous in the end. So I will not be picking a winner in this game. I'm going to go with Dallas just because if I think they're even, might as well go with the underdog. As far as the over-under, since I'm picking with Dallas, I'm actually going to go with the over. My confidence in this is about 0.5% though. All right, Monday Night Football. The New Orleans Saints are 2-2. They're heading to Kansas City to face the undefeated Chiefs. The Chiefs are 5-point favorites. The projected total is 42.5 points. That means that Vegas is telling us that the Saints will score 18.75 while the Chiefs score 23.75. As far as injuries, on the offensive side, the Saints have Taysom Hill now has a bruised lung, which I think would make him pretty close to out for next week. He already had a rib injury before that. On the Chiefs side, one major injury, Rashee Rice got his knee collided to by Patrick Mahomes this past week. They're thinking it's probably a torn ACL. There's no official report yet, but I can almost guarantee you he's out for this week, if not for an extended period of time. Mike, Steph, what do you think about this game? Who you got, Saints or the Chiefs?
Well, I'll cut to the chase. I got the Chiefs specifically because the Saints have come down to earth. after their scintillating start, after averaging damn near 45 points a game. And, you know, on some people's list, I guess Derek Carr was in the race for MVP. They've combined for 36 points in their last 2 games. The Mojo Kings' favorite quarterback, the aforementioned Derek Carr, has 1 touchdown in his loss as opposed to 5 touchdowns in the 2 wins. Now, as for the Chiefs, as you expertly explained, they're the walking wounded. They lost Pacheco to a broken leg a couple weeks ago, and now they potentially lost Rashee. Now, they've been so desperate that they actually brought Kareem Hunt back. Travis Kelce has jettisoned Taylor Swift the last 2 games for him to hopefully get his mojo back. Pardon the pun. Now, they're 4-0, and points that they have scored in each game has gone down steadily. 27 the first week, 26 the next week, 22 the third week, and 17 this past week. But yet, no matter how many points they've gone down, they've made sure that the opposing team has not scored more than them. So, once again, I'm going to make this short and sweet. The Chiefs, plus the 5.5. Darn, you know what? No, you know what? The Saints, plus 5. Over, under, I'll go under.
I like what you're thinking here. First of all, you know what? I don't even like Derek Carr that much. It's just that I got tired of people trashing him.
Because he's trash.
But more concerning, Taylor Swift's not going to be at the game? What's the point of watching then? But all right, it's kind of funny because I was pretty sure you were going the opposite way, but I'm actually with you. And the reason I'm with you is this. The Saints, I'm not sure if they're good or not. They looked better than they were the first 2 games. It was kind of obvious. The last 2 games, they've had tough defeats, but it's been close games. Meanwhile, Kansas City, they keep losing weapons to the point that now their offense looks maybe weaker than it did last year. When, by the way, they end up winning the Super Bowl, but they weren't scoring all that much. Now, without Pacheco, without Rice, maybe we finally get a Kelce day, but he doesn't have his queen with him, so I'm not expecting anything from him either. I'm expecting this to be a low-scoring game, and I'm taking the Saints plus the 5 points. I don't think they're going to beat them. I think Kansas City's going to end up 5-0 after this game, but if I'm going to bet, I'm going to bet on the Saints. All right, Mike, Steph, we are done here. Take us home.
This has been a very, very interesting. Matter of fact, no, this has been a very happy edition of Hidden Gems Football because we're back together again. You know, I'm on this side, he's on that side, or I'm on this side, he's on that side. Y'all get the gist. You know, now next week, I don't know. That's something we're going to have to talk about because I will probably be en route coming back from North Carolina to see my cousin Ooh. So I don't know how we're going to figure it out, but trust and believe this man will have some type of sighting on next week. But with all that being said, one last thing. And normally I don't actually plug my stuff, but the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast has returned after a 1-month hiatus, a self-imposed sabbatical, if you will. And I came back with a vengeance. I've dropped 4 new episodes this past weekend. I know you're like 4, yeah, 4. A couple teasers, a live, and a sprinkle. So I gave y'all a whole smorgasbord. So please check it out at the YouTube channel of @MikeSteph_ and on all streaming platforms where podcasts are available starting this Wednesday. So Hidden Gems Football have been a part of Teen Media Group. Goodbye.
This is a 19 Media Group presentation.
You know, even though I know this is not going to make air, the universe works in mysterious ways. Just saying.
Right. Yeah, none of that's making it.
Huh? Yeah, I know.
All right.
On the cutting room floor.